He treated me like I was a treasure. He just had everything that I was looking for in a man.
The perfect partner.
They seem to be super, super happy. It's kind of like you found your soulmate.
An experienced and trustworthy contractor.
Francis is a charming guy.
He had all the right answers.
When did things start to change?
Well, immediately.
I honestly believe he came onto our property and he found another victim.
And the sense of betrayal I feel now still affects me even a year later.
You too, you fat bitch. Hey.
That guy is Francis Charon. We first heard about him from his ex, Christina McCrimmon. Their short-lived relationship ended really badly. She went to the police but says she didn't get the help she wanted and that she has no money left to hire a lawyer. So she came to us with her story.
He took everything. This is my whole life. This is my savings. I'm going to be struggling even to retire now.
Christina McCrimmon says she's now living paycheck to paycheck. She says Charon left her nearly $300,000 in debt and is nothing like the man she first met back in November 2023.
He treated me like I was a treasure. We had this strong connection. I've never felt that before. He treated me with such love, devotion, respect. I'm a little bit of a hopeless romantic, I guess. And he'd dance with me in the kitchen.
She started to fall in love when he confided about financial hardships, legal troubles, and past relationships. McCrimmon says her compassion as a Christian helped her look past it.
When you're at this age, people have that kind of baggage. But I felt that I finally met somebody who is my soulmate. He just had everything that I was looking for in a man.
On December 19th, they got engaged. Just 10 days later, her world came crashing down. After an appointment, she says Charon told her he likely had stage 4 terminal brain cancer.
We all sat here at Christmas time. We were all crying. I was a mess at Christmas because I thought he was dying.
Charon confirmed the diagnosis to McCrimmon's father in a Facebook message, writing, "I have stage 4 brain cancer," and saying he was going to slowly die.
She was in tears over the whole thing. And she felt sorry for him, and she wanted to be there for him. You know how it is. She's totally in love with this guy, want to be there for him right till he dies, that kind of thing.
The pair got married shortly after, on January 21st, 2024, much earlier than planned.
But the goal was we were going to get married in the summertime. But we sped things up because he had said that he had cancer. It was literally to make it legal so that we can take care of business for him and so that I could take care of him and move in with him.
But that never happened. A fight just 2 days after the marriage ended like this.
You too, you fat bitch. Hey. By the way, just because you did this, I will go bankrupt and take everything you have.
You did this, on you!
Fuck you!
Imagine that, just 2 days after getting married. McCrimmon says her heart was shattered. But now, looking back, she thinks she's a victim and alleges Charon targeted her from the beginning. Over the course of their 2-month relationship, McCrimmon says she was manipulated into loaning Charon a lot of money. It started with $17,000 from her unsecured line of credit. She let him use her credit card and then added him as a supplementary card holder, increasing the limit. She claims he needed access to the money to keep his business afloat and for legal fees, but always promised to repay. Before the marriage, McCrimmon says she even refinanced her house, adding Charon to the home equity line of credit. In total, she says he left her nearly $300,000 in debt.
This message is for Francis.
We went to ask Charon his side of the story, but he didn't answer, so we sent our questions by email. In a response, Charon denied McCrimmon's allegations, saying he loved Christina very much and that he never said he had brain cancer. He also wrote he intends to pay back half of the debts. But McCrimmon is just one of many who say Sharon owes them money. We found 8 civil and small claims cases in Ontario against him and his companies SLC Contracting Inc. and SLC Innovations Inc. In one civil suit, he was ordered to pay about $73,000 for an unfinished basement renovation that began in August 2023. In another, nearly $89,000 for unpaid fuel from September of that same year. Sharon was also recently ordered to pay $35,000 in a small claims case launched by Ron and Trish Kaloff, who did their research online and hired Sharon last summer for a backyard renovation.
He had all the right answers, right? He basically, he pointed out specific things, and we'd already had 3 different contractors in here doing quotes. He highlighted things that none of them had highlighted. There was no red flags in terms of the initial communication with them.
But after putting more than $45,000 into the project, they say Sharon left the job unfinished and left them with a retaining wall that needs to be replaced.
I honestly believe he came onto our property and he found another victim.
The court ordered a $35,000 judgment, but the Kaloffs say they have not received any payments. And that's not unusual in small claims and civil suits, according to this legal expert, especially if the person doesn't have any assets.
We don't anymore have the concept of going to prison in lieu of paying your debts, right? That's a sort of 19th century concept that I don't think we want to bring back. But the idea is if there's no assets, your judgment is unsatisfied.
Jennifer Quaid says bad actors have a way of skirting the rules. Take the bankruptcy system, for example.
The bankruptcy system is designed to help people in financial difficulty have an orderly winding up of their affairs and to be able to start afresh. And for the most part, that's what it's supposed to do. But there are, of course, circumstances where, the ability to dissolve a company and then create a new one gives you a fresh start to, start more schemes.
A search on the Superintendent of Bankruptcy website found 4 Francis Charons with the same birth date as the Francis Charon who owns SLC Contracting Inc., claimed bankruptcy in 2004, 2012, 2013, and 2017. He's also changed his company name at least once. The Ontario Business Registry shows SLC Innovations Inc. was registered in August 2020, and SLC Contracting Inc. was registered 2 years later.
Hey,
I'm Robin.
Adam Thompson is involved in one of at least 5 ongoing cases against Charon in Ontario. He says he also has to replace the retaining wall Charon's company installed.
you can see that the wall's already starting to lean.
Thompson is also going after Charon in small claims court for breach of contract, a situation he says he's embarrassed about.
I've always prided myself on being a good judge of character and a good, get a good feel for people. And Francis is a charming guy, like gregarious, he's loud, he's rough around the edges, but so am I. So we seem to get along with that. In retrospect, I feel he's really good at mirroring, and he maybe presents differently to different people.
Charon disputes this claim, saying in defense documents the project was delayed due to rain, personnel, and material issues. He also claims the customer became verbally violent. Thompson denies that and also filed a police report.
I don't know the legal definition of fraud, but I do know that I gave him my credit card number to cover some expenses and help with the project, and there were charges put on my credit card for his business that I did not authorize. So that, in my opinion, is fraud. That's for the courts to decide and the police to decide.
In his emailed response, speaking generally, Charon admits he's made bad business decisions, but says he is not a criminal or a fraud artist. Thompson isn't the only one who's taken his concerns to police. So did McCrimmon, and so did the Kaloffs. But Ottawa police say there's a 2-year backlog.
Frauds is probably the most reported crime right now because they're happening. We'll come back on a Monday morning and there'll be 70 new fraud files. So that's how crazy it is. And then we have to go through them all to see if they're investigatable, if there's any leads, what do we have to chase.
He says police triage cases like a hospital triages patients.
So it has nothing to do with dollar value. It's what can we follow up on it, and is it in the best public interest, and number two, will the courts run with it? Courts don't run with every single fraud file we give them. They focus more on the violent crimes. So it's a matter of getting a good file in front of them that they're going to follow up on.
Some people have taken their concerns about Sharon online, with complaints about him dating back to 2014. This couple posted a warning on social media when a shed they purchased from Sharon didn't show up.
It's an embarrassing thing to have been taken by somebody that way. But, you know, ultimately, we were willing to be embarrassed if it meant that somebody else who saw that posting didn't fall into the same trap, you know, that we did.
They say he's now repaid them $4,000, but only after months of them asking and a report to the Ottawa police.
So we got our money back, but it's somebody else's money probably, right? That's likely what's going on. So it just continues.
Sharon says the shed was a bad decision, an error in judgment, and that he's working on personal growth.
I feel really betrayed.
McCrimmon doesn't buy it. She says this past October, long after their relationship ended, Sharon renewed the mortgage early without her permission at a higher interest rate. Only one co-signer was needed under the agreed terms.
It's just unimaginable, and when I tell my story to others, it's just unimaginable to think that somebody can honestly do what he has done and still be able to live with themselves the next day.
McCrimmon says Sharon has made very small payments towards some of the debt, but she's drowning. Her mortgage payments now triple what they were before they met. The risk of losing her house is real.
I mean, this is where all our memories are. This is where my children mostly grew up. But yeah, I mean, it's all I have left.
CBC sent a lengthy list of questions to Sharon, but we did not receive a full response. His lawyer says he won't be speaking with us. McCrimmon believes Sharon is trying to further her financial strain. She says he wants her to sell the house to relieve him of the debt. Meanwhile, the pair remain married. She says she doesn't have enough money to hire a lawyer to seek an annulment or a divorce. Robin Miller, CBC News, Ottawa.